she had this great laughter right after she danced. She really, cracked up, and that's very much her.
Almost one day down. 3 more to go.
Okay, well, congratulations on your latest film, 4 Good Days.
Thank you.
Great cast, Glenn Close and Mila Kunis. That's a great combo.
It is a great combo. They're both wonderful actors and easy to work with, super dedicated, super professional, and also, great chemistry between them, which you always hope for, but you're not guaranteed to get.
Well, definitely, because it's about a mother and daughter. The daughter is a drug addict, and the mom has pretty much lost faith in her. And it's something like everyone can relate to.
Apparently, she has lost faith, although, she has lost faith, but I guess hope keeps gnawing at her,
It just goes on and
I am so sorry that my drug addiction is so incredibly difficult on you.
And that's what's so interesting about this story is, because usually we see it from the drug addict's perspective, but now we're seeing it from a loved one and the turmoil that they're going through in their head, blaming themselves, blaming others. So you see the whole dynamic, how it works for both parties, really.
And also something that I enjoyed in the article, and obviously based on the lives of the real women, is how tired the mother is, how annoyed, how she's in pain, and she doesn't want to be a she's unhappy being a codependent. She's unhappy cutting her daughter off. I mean, it's like a no-win situation, and I just loved how over it she was from the beginning, and the way they treat each other with blunt directness and with a lot of irony and sort of gallows humor, And
you mentioned it's based on it's on a real mother-daughter relationship, and it's within these 4 days that she's trying to remain clean so she can get some kind of shot. I never heard about that. There's a shot that helps you not crave.
Yeah, it's a shot that it's not that it helps you not crave, it's that it won't allow you to get high. So even if you use the drug, it doesn't make you high. So that will allow you to crave less, because there's no point in now, of course, it's not a magic bullet like the doctor says. You get a shot once a month for a few months, but that has to be accompanied with the rehab, the lifestyle, the support of a family, of course, the effort, the will. But it does give you that chance that as long as you're on the drug, you won't be able to get high. So you won't seek to get high because it's an opioid suppressant. But, of course, the catch is you have to be clean for a week before you can try it,
And now, since it's based on a true story, but how did you, actually the writer of the Washington Post story was your co-writer on this, right? So
yeah, I read the article and immediately I was, I thought it would make a good movie. I mean, I like I said, especially the characters and the relationship of these two women. We got in contact with Eli, who was game, and I suggested that we write it together, so that he can bring all that everything he knew, all his experience dealing not just with the opioid epidemic, but with these two women in particular with whom he had the relationship. And I would bring the perspective of the things that interested me from the story. And then the women very generously agreed. Of course, it always sounds in principle flattering that, these Hollywood people want to show up and make a movie about you. But, I'm sure it's not easy it's not you in your best 4 days. Let's put it this way. It's you in 4 very difficult days. But they were very generous with their time. And, Eli and I went over there. He'd already met them, of course, and I spent some time with them. And yeah, they proved to be great partners in the whole process.
Yeah, because you really get into the mother's head, played by Glenn Close, like what's going on in her head. She blames herself, she blames others. Like she doesn't know where to put the blame, like if there is a blame to go around.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that even anyone's fault, you know, that's what her husband ends up saying to her, you know. There's just no way to know. You can't drive yourself crazy saying, well, if I, you know, would have bought her the blue shoes instead of the red, you know, when she was 7. It's there's just no way to know. You know, there's so many. That's one of the things that is so frustrating and debilitating about addiction. It's not just the one thing, you know, it's, you know, the chemistry, the personality, the brain chemistry, someone's personality, the circumstances, you know, every tolerance for suffering. I mean, it's so many things go into it that it's not just one thing that did it.
That is such a great scene, that one you just described, because everybody from the outside said, you know, they seem like it's so easy. Oh, well, just, you know, she can just stop cold turkey, you know. So it really adds to the fact that this is not an easy journey, and people are always making judgments from afar, right?
It's a never-ending journey, you know. Amanda, you know, the real gal, has thankfully been clean for quite a while now, but you know, it's a lifelong struggle. You know, she has to work on it every single day.
And I gotta ask, what did you think of Glenn Close's performance at the Oscars doing the butt? Did you hear about it?
I thought it was very fun. I saw it. I thought it was very funny, but something that was very her is, you know, she had this great laughter right after she danced. She really, you know, cracked up, and that's very much her. You know, she's a person who enjoys life tremendously and enjoys the company of other people, and you know, doesn't feel that she's beyond, you know, acting up and risking making a fool of herself, and she doesn't make a fool of herself. You know, people found it lots of fun.
Yeah, she's endearing. Now, obviously, it's a heavy subject matter. So did Glenn and Mila, when you yell cut, were they able to go back to normal, or, you know, because what's it like on the
Yeah,
set?
you know, the set was not some dreadful thing. I mean, I remember it as quite a fun shoot. I mean, we weren't cracking jokes all day, but it was enjoyable. You know, it was and it was enjoyable, of course, to see them at work. You know, they're both were flying very high as far as I was concerned. So it was an enjoyable set, I think. I hope so.
Well, wonderful film. It's really eye-opening. I don't have anybody who's gone through what, you know, Mila's character was going through, so it's really eye-opening to see from both sides. Because from afar, I always thought like, oh, just stop or help them stop. I mean, it's not that easy.
No, and you know, and each person is a different universe. You know, it's not just, you're not the addict. You know, what you see is the addict, but there's a whole universe behind them.
Right. Okay. Well, muchas felicidades.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And have a great time in Argentina filming your next film.
Thank you.